If you pay nothing for something, what's it worth? Nothing. If you get a $200 check for something, what's it worth? $200. Can you see how you can use that extraordinarily powerfully?
Yes.
And you could do the same, couldn't you? You've got skills that are worth hundreds of dollars to the people you should be consulting to. If you go and knock on their door and try to give it to them, it's not worth anything. But if you use marginal net worth theory and say, what's it worth to me in the long term, and put a true value on it, you can blow it out of the water.
Back-ending can even be used to lock in future sales. Some years ago, Chris was doing the marketing for a travel agent that's now one of, if not the biggest in the land. Here's a very simple back-ending idea that locked in future sales for that travel agent. Let's go back to the boot camp to hear about it.
I was in the travel industry. We used to have customers who would travel internationally. Our difficulty was knowing when they were going to travel and where they would travel. So we would really be blind as to what we were marketing to them. So we came up with an idea of saying thank you to them. We wrote out to our customers, and this is going back 5 or 8, 10 years. We wrote out to them and we said, you're really special to us. To say thank you, you'll find that there's a $10 certificate at the top of the letter, done up like almost like a bond issue. It had swirls and purple and numbers and stuff all over it. And it said, this $10 is yours to spend in any way you'd like. It went on to say, to validate this certificate, you need to send it back to us so that we can put it on our central register. And then it's valid for you for 12 months. But to validate it, you've got to fill in the back. And guess what it had on the back of the certificate? Name and address.
And something
Where
else.
are we going? When are we going? What sort of holiday do we want? What sort of information did we have? We knew where they were going, when they wanted to go. We knew exactly what sort of things to promote to them. Did it work? I mean, $10. So what's $10? You know, we had people writing to us saying, look, this is only valid for 12 months and I know that I'll be travelling in 13 months. Could you please give it to me in writing that it'll still be valid? I tell you the truth. Do you know who those people are? They're the ones who pull up in a Rolls.
And they don't just guarantee your satisfaction per se. They say if you're not satisfied in any way, shape or form with what happened in the hotel, we don't just say, have another night on us. We totally refund your bill. Now, as I mentioned that, imagine you owned a hotel and you were sitting in this room and someone said that to you. What you should do is totally refund the money. What would be the first thing you would think of if you owned a hotel? It's easy for you and I to think about it now, but if you owned a hotel, what would be the first thing you think about? Here we go. The first thing that you would think of is
people taking unfair advantage.
People take unfair advantage of me, they will rip me off, they will do this and this and this, therefore I won't do it. Let's go a stage further. A man called Al Berger set up a company called Bugs Burger Bug Killer. They are pest control people, except Mr. Berger decided by asking his marketplace, failing to listen to the market, he asked them, and he figured out that people who run commercial premises are not really interested in controlling pests, they are interested in eliminating pests. So Mr. Berger developed a very interesting guarantee. Take a look at it. The Bugs Burger Bug Killer Guarantee. You don't owe 1 penny until all pests on your premises have been eradicated. Pretty good. But you remember what we said, the word begins with B, the word is blatant. Blatant. And remember what Chris said about the way in which you execute things. It continues, if you are ever dissatisfied with BBK services, you will receive a refund for up to 12 months of the company's services. We'll give you the money back. Plus, if we screwed it up, we will pay the fees for another exterminator of your choice out of our pocket for the next year. How are you feeling about BBK now? Confident? but it gets a little better. If a guest spots a pest or a rat on your premises, BBBK will pay for the guest's meal or room. You won't, we will. We will send a letter of apology, say it was our fault, not the hotel's, and we will pay for a future meal or stay of that particular guest. How are you feeling about BBBK? Pretty good? Let's see the next one, because it doesn't stop there. If your facility is ever closed down due to the presence of roaches or rodents, BBBK will pay any fines that you suffer, as well as all lost profits, and if that isn't enough, we'll throw in $5,000 for you on account of how we screwed up. Question. If it was a competitive situation and you had to choose between, for instance, the Brett Chamberlain Pest Control Company that said, we guarantee our work, and BBBK, which one would you go for? Let me make it look a bit more interactive. We'll get some stretching here. How many of you would go for BBBK? Okay. Now, do you want the really interesting news? In every market in which Al Berger chooses to operate, he owns 80% of the market. 80%. And I was reading a book recently by a lady called Laura Liswood, who studied Mr. Berger, and she also said, by the way, Mr. Berger charges 10 times more, and yet he has 80% of the market.
Paul, some time ago we had various customers leaving us because of various incidences which were occurring. We identified it and rectified it, but of course in our industry, which is freight forwarding, everybody gets to know about the bad parts, not the good ones. So during the course of a particular negotiation with a large account based in Adelaide, Kerry had the foresight not only to fly the person responsible from Adelaide to Melbourne, as Melbourne was the gateway for the inbound traffic, to see the office and see our people and see how everything works. She also committed in the quote to the customer that we, at any of our locations in Australia, would give a guarantee to the customer that if for any reason something went wrong with the shipment, we would import their traffic for them, clear it and deliver it for a period of 3 months for no charge.
You hear that? If they screwed up, if the parcel was like 12 hours late, even if it wasn't their fault, correct, Colin?
Yeah, very true, Paul.
They would freight your stuff for you for 3 months for free. Pretty interesting, isn't it? In a competitive situation, right, and that's what we're really talking about, in a competitive situation, which freight forwarder would you go for?